Here we are.
Welcome to the current comfort and coffee podcast. I think that makes me current.
Yep,
a-
and I'm Comfort. This is
And
Coffee.
yep.
Fireside again today. I actually came here with Big Apple Bagels. Late. Forgot my laptop. Then I was even more late. And then it was gone. So we had to go get more coffee. And Fireside's good.
Yep.
Weird
Fortunately,
location.
it's nothing
Good coffee.
new.
Yeah.
You're generally late sometimes.
Generally. I was only going to be like 8 minutes late. And then I was like an hour and 8 minutes late.
I thought you were on time. I was downstairs getting things ready. I'm like, oh, cool. He's here.
He's on time.
Yeah.
I tried. I
Hmm.
really tried.
That's all we can do.
So, why was I supposed to be here 2 hours early today?
So we were wrapping gifts for our sponsored family this year. So historically, we have kind of the same group of guys every year that help pick up a family that's in need. And it's one, like the old Newsboys paper sale. It's one of the things every year that pretty much happens every year, one way or another. And it's really good. Puts me in the festive mood. Makes me feel good about, things, even when things in the world are kind of rough,
I don't know
So
what you're talking about. What's rough in the world, man?
yeah, we
The world
won't.
seems fine.
Yeah. A plus 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 plus.
We didn't start the fire. It's always burning. That's the word it's been turning. Oh, it's cool. I was hoping to be more of a part of that than I was. I was able to donate to it, but I at least got to see the tail end of the wrapping. You like writing the card out and all that fun stuff. So glad I got to be a little bit of the like finalization process. And then you get to drive all the way to North Branch to deliver it.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah, that's always that's a fun part.
Just hire an Uber.
Yeah, it's funny when we started this, it was actually kind of a rough process. Originally, a buddy of mine had a website that he had. We were much younger. I mean, this was over a decade ago. And we would do everything through his website. We had a donation link and everything, and we worked at a shop where people donated, but we didn't have like a great way of finding people. So we asked people on the website to write in. Well, they did, and let me tell you what a terrible process it is to read through everybody's like stories and then have to pick one or two of the worst. It's just like,
you get to be the judge of who's suffering the most.
yeah, it sucks. It does. It's a shitty way to do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually when I started working, how I got to volunteering with the old Newsboys was through asking them for a family, saying, hey, this is a terrible process for me. Do you guys have somebody you can recommend? And that was better, but also the people who are reaching out to them a lot of times are like, you never know, you don't give so that you get anything out of it, but it was hard sometimes when I think we had a few families that really didn't need it. You know what I mean? And there was
it was extra on top rather than
or it was just them taking advantage of a system. That's hard too when you drop off the gifts and you're like, well, these people really didn't need it. And I think where we finally ended up and settled every year is now we ask for referrals. We at the other company I was with, we would send out an email asking employees to refer somebody who needed it, because there's so many people out there that need help and they just won't ask for it, and those are the people I feel like need it the most.
Yeah, for sure.
I was a single dad going through a divorce one year. I lived on nothing. I've been there. It's and I was too proud to ask for any help at the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just,
well, there's a stigma around it for sure, that like you're supposed to be able to handle this. You're supposed to be able to provide. You're supposed to do XYZ. because you're a man or a father or an American or whatever,
Yeah.
when really our species has relied on each other for 200,000 years. We've migrated in tribes around the world, and we needed each other in groups in order to accomplish anything. And I think it's only a recent development that we've decided that you've got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and get a job. Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference between working at a factory now and picking berries then.
And I've said it once, and I'll probably say it 100 more times. Um, I believe that what's wrong with the world today is that we need more community. We need to be taking care of each other. We need to be more compassionate for each other. Um, that's not to say give it all away, but, we have to care about each other
Right.
to some degree.
The earth that we all live on has the resources everyone needs to survive. We have a surplus of things that we need here in America, but they don't go to everybody. They go to the few, and then there's people on the other side of the spectrum that get very little of it because they don't work hard enough, or because of whatever reason. We made up. All the systems that are in place right now are made up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We decided that these are rules. We can undecide that they're rules.
It's funny how hard it is to actually break out of those systems that we've made up, because it's like once you start doing it, people are just like, this is the way it is now.
This is just how it is.
Don't change.
That's the way it always has been.
Yep.
There used to be like serfs and lords and stuff, and that's not too different from what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until agricultural development that somebody owned all the food, and that's when we really started to like hoard it and keep it from others, unless you could do something for me to give you some of the food. Versus before, we used to just all hunt together and everybody get some food and we dance around a campfire.
Well, even though, what you just described to some degree has a community aspect to it, the doing and trading and helping each other.
So one dude who is in charge of all the lords, that king guy.
Yeah, we got to go get that guy before he takes our food.
Right. He keeps fighting with the neighbors too. He wants some of their, I think he called it oil. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we dive too deep into politics, one thing that you had suggested we do was bring up either like a customer story or a tool or something. We could talk about our trade a little bit more specifically.
Yeah, I think as we begin to grow as a podcast, I think understanding who we want to connect to and what our format is going to be is something that will probably grow and evolve, right? I mean, typically in all of our practice sessions, as we work out our lighting and audio issues,
it's a little harsh today.
We're going to get it right. It's just,
I mean, there's no right really. It's just constantly getting better.
Fortunately, but
if anybody's listening to us right now, then they enjoy listening to us, not necessarily looking at my beautiful face bathed in white.
Yeah. Now they're going to look it up. Now they have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I might be playing in the background while somebody's like doing something else,
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I'm doing this is for me, honestly. Like, I've always enjoyed teaching, and I think that it's important to bring like a reality to what we do for a living. We're not, I don't know. I like to say I'm not God's gift to heating and cooling, because I'm not. I'm just a guy that's been doing it for 2 decades. And I do have knowledge to share. And I just feel like that's something that our industry is missing, is that teaching aspect. Like you said in the last one, schools suck. These kids, these people leave school and they don't know anything about the trade still. They might know some theory. They might have an associate's degree, certificate or something, but they've never used a drill. They've never used a pair of wire strippers, and it becomes useless. I'd rather them not know any of the theory and know how to cut a wire correctly. And I can teach them some of the theory over time. So that's how I learned.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not an electrician. Well, I am now. I'm an apprentice. But
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're going to be a good apprentice.
I appreciate
it. You
it.
just got to show up on time.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I'm the owner, so I can show up whenever I want.
I know. It's very counterintuitive. So anyways, I'm going to call that our one good thing, right? start with that. I don't know. The holidays, it's busy, it's stressful, but we're almost to that point where Christmas comes and the world shuts down for a day, and we get to, rather than running around being crazy, get to stop and enjoy it,
Yeah.
with our families. And then
Yeah, it's nice that this is a time of the year that pretty much every culture, at least in our general area, whether you're Jewish or whether you're Muslim, like this is the time of year that a lot of people slow down and spend more time with their family and get that little bit of a break in the worst season
yeah.
of the year. I hate the winter. It brings me so much sadness. So there's just that little bit of community, like you said, like whether it's with our families or friends or whatever, we get to share a meal or give gifts or whatever your tradition is, and just enjoy a little bit of time together.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking forward to this week, when things kind of stop and the world stops for a minute and we can enjoy those 5 days between New Year's and Christmas. That we get to actually breathe for a minute before next year starts, and it all starts over again.
Do you have any resolutions you're going to do for the new year?
500 miles.
Like you're going to
For
drive 500
yeah,
miles? Or you're going
I like the song,
I would walk 500 miles. We're going to keep going? I'll grab the guitar.
Then I will run 500 more. Yeah. The goal this year is to do about 10 miles a week. Just kind of keep up.
That makes sense because there's 52 weeks a year, so you got a little bit of wiggle room.
So, for listeners that don't know, this last year, my last year's resolution was to lose weight, to get more. I did. I lost about 50 pounds. It was rough. My knees were starting to hurt.
Yeah. You used to have to roll into rooms.
Yeah. Tying my shoe was it's like,
you look like Violet from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, blue and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
We got to roll her down to the juicing factory. Yeah, no, and so I, on top of dieting, I lost some weight. I took up running, which has helped me maintain it. And it has helped in more ways than I can count with my mental health and everything in between. This year would have been much worse had I not had some of the running. So yeah, my goal this year is to just maintain well, and I would like to do the 10 mile at the Crim this year. So I'm going to start training for that here in the spring, and I'd like to put together a run for our company this year.
Yeah, you actually showed me the logo that you made for that.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
The proposed name, obviously, I'm in talks with big brother, big sister. So it was, I guess, let me back up here. I was planning an event at the last company I was with prior to what went down going down. And then that happened, and I had to restructure my life and get things back in order. And I went missing in action because my email was gone. So I did reach out to this, I believe she's the CEO, Lisa, and basically apologized, said, I wasn't planning on this. I was like, I've had to kind of get things back in order, but I'd really still like to do this. I am proposing a 5K run called Miles for Mentors. And it's just to get runners out there and get people, aware of, of big brothers, big sisters. And, I think we're still we can still hammer out the details. I'm still early on in the process, but.
Yeah. And you had talked to Stacy Hurley about that.
Yeah. She was amazing. I talked to her for 5 to 10 minutes, and, it's like she knew everything about it. And I was,
that's why I told you to call her.
Yeah. What steps to do and who to reach out to, and how, ideas on how to, promote it. And it was fantastic conversation. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So I hope that works out. If it doesn't work out for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, we may have to rebrand and go something. But also, Stacy and I talked about possibly doing something for in the winter for the Old Newsboys as well. She's uh, maybe the elf run
Mm,
is something that she suggested. Little teaser. Um, Putting together so that
yeah, everybody could dress up as their favorite Christmas characters or something.
oh, I'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, Davidson does the flip flop 5K, and you don't have to run in flip flops, but a lot of people do. I can't
Ugh,
imagine.
that sounds like awful broken toes.
Yeah, it sounds
That
like loud flapping to me.
yeah, yeah. I drag my feet too much.
There's Johnny Be Good is a member of the Davison Chamber. He's sits on the board, and I think he sits on the board. He might just be an ambassador, but I'm pretty sure he's on the board. And he is the flip flop agent. He wears flip flops all winter long. He'll have gloves on because he's cold, but he's not wearing flip flops. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, couldn't be me. Good for you, dude. Good for you.
Hey man,
He has a thing. That's
yeah,
his thing.
teach their own.
Free the toe.
My my son wears Crocs in the winter.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but good for him. I mean, whatever you're comfortable in, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just couldn't be me. That's all.
Yep. Yep. So
No, I think that that sounds awesome. I'd be super excited to sponsor that and promote that and be a part of that. I wish I was still running 5Ks.
we can always train, man.
I know.
We spend a lot of time together already.
Might as well just
Your
make
wife's gonna get
Sunday.
jealous.
Yeah. Sunday's the day I hang out with my boyfriend, John.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
Um,
I used to run a lot in my early 20s. Originally it was to impress a girl, and then it was for me after that. And yeah, I just kind of fell away from it
Mhm.
over time. I've yo-yoed a little bit with my weight. Like I've gotten bigger and smaller. I just found like this happy medium where like I just eat until I'm full,
Yeah.
and then I don't eat when I'm not hungry. And that's hard sometimes for a person that really likes to stress eat or just like if I'm anxious, like it's easy to rip into a bag of chips to feel a little bit better,
Yep.
And I don't know. It's just I go back and forth a little bit.
I have the same problem with my wallet. I call it retail therapy.
Oh, did you come up with that term?
No, somebody else told it to me,
Yeah,
and
it's pretty common.
it's maybe yeah.
I don't blame
I
you
had
there.
never heard it
Yeah,
prior.
I
but-
love to buy myself little toys here and there just to like give me something to do or like this is gonna be my new thing.
Yeah.
Like I had just asked a minute ago what your like New Year's resolution was gonna be because I have one too. So
I'm sorry.
no,
What
you're
is?
fine. I wasn't. Yeah, let's stop talking about you for a
Yeah.
second and talk about
Yep,
me.
sorry, rabbit hole.
No, you're fine. Well, so I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about welding, and I really want to learn how to weld. But I found out recently how much more welding is than just that one word. There's flux core welding, there's MIG, there's TIG, there's stick, and then
Mhm.
there's a million varieties of all those kinds. And I don't know. I'm trying to decide like what I'm going to try first. But one of my things that I did for a Christmas present for my wife was I cleaned up the entire garage by putting in that attic ladder.
Yeah.
To get all of our storage stuff up into the attic of the garage. So she could pull her car into the garage. She wouldn't have to start it twice before she leaves every day. So now she's parked in the garage, but that means I can pull it out of the garage and work on projects again in there. It's just been kind of a mess ever since we got our new lawnmower, which does not fit in our shed. It's had to be parked in the garage. And then when you couldn't pull a car in there anymore, it was just like, well, I might as well use it for a bunch of random storage. So you can't even walk around in here. And, now it's finally usable again. And that makes me want to get back into woodworking, which I already have experience with. I learned a lot of that stuff from my grandpa. And then I want to put together a welding table, even if it's just a cheap like Harbor Freight,
Mhm.
just to practice and play around and stuff. Make brackets or whatever. I've got that 240 volt metal bender, that sheet metal
Yeah.
brake that's powered. Hydraulic or whatever. Once that's wired up, I'll be able to bend metal into different shapes, and then I could potentially weld onto it from there. So I'm kind of excited to get into metalworking, essentially. Not going to do metalsmithing just yet, but I know someone that does. I could learn that later.
Go to Crossroads Village.
I just start making
There's a lady
swords.
there that does it. I'm like, how did you get your job?
There's one of those places up in Frankenmuth.
Yeah, you can make like little swords
Yeah,
and
you do a
stuff.
class and make your own.
We should do that.
weapons.
Let's take the boys to go do that.
Yeah, you want to do that, Noah? We'll go up to that metalworking shop and
Make it like a sword.
yeah,
They give you like a railroad spike and you just hammer it.
Really.
Yeah. Well, that's what it looked like from where I was at. Hammer it into like a dagger or something.
The only thing that like makes me think I shouldn't do that is my carpal tunnel is insane. Like my wrists hurt all the time and my hands are always falling asleep. I don't know if I need surgery or what. That costs money too.
Well,
so I don't know, like banging with a hammer all day, if that's just gonna cause me to be in a lot of pain.
I'll help you.
Thanks. Could you just make mine for me?
Yeah. I'm all coated in sweat. He's over there drinking a latte.
It hurts.
Can't feel my fingers.
I was talking. I've got these wrist guards that I put on at nighttime.
Yeah.
That I 3D printed. That.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They don't perfectly fit because they're for somebody else's hand, but like they keep my wrists from bending in the middle of the night, which is better.
It's crazy the things that you can 3D print. That it's.
I gotta try out.
I'm just
more and see.
I'm just waiting for corporate America to get a hold of that community and start locking down all the models.
Yeah, I mean that. I feel like that's what Bamboo like kind of started to do for a little bit.
Yeah,
because there's like some lack of interaction between their system and like the open 3D printing community. They kind of lock you into that. But it's still open enough right now.
I feel like they'll find a way to get us to subscribe to it. I'm sure.
I think that the 3D printing community, as far as like the hardcore 3D printing people, are never going to allow that to happen because you could build your own 3D printer. You just need like the motors and stuff, and then it's G code. You just got to program it, and that already exists. You know, I still have my Ender 3v2 that I originally started with, and like it's a stark difference between a 3D printer you have to program yourself and one that you just hit print on and it prints whatever it was and changes filaments for you and all that.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool that this exists, and it's great that it's like more of a entry level, like you don't need to learn that much. You can just 3D print stuff box. That's the way the industry should go. But locking that into like proprietary software and stuff, I don't think is the best for the community as a whole. When it started out as, you know, people figuring it out and then starting companies and then building new machines. And like, it's really come from the ground up because of people and community and all that. And then these big companies started to come out of it and like, we could make it more uniform and quicker. Even Prusa has like their click and print printers, you know, and it's great that you can do that. It's great for like a commercial aspect. And it's great if you want to print something quickly, but half of the fun, I think, for me was learning what I did wrong. You know, and I was going in there with, you know, like a spacer, trying to figure out, you know, why my print was uneven.
Yeah. I've watched other people do that. My neighbor has one that you have to hand do it with, and I just that would just take the fun out of it for me.
And that's great.
You know what I mean?
That's why this other one exists, right?
Right.
I learned it the hard way, and that wasn't even the hard way compared to like people who did it 10 years before that, you know. Mine was a pretty advanced printer at the time that I got it, because the Bamboo P1S didn't exist yet. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy 3D printing as a concept, as like just like a thing that like if you need something, you can just print it, you know.
Yeah.
And now they've got like laser cutters and home lathes that are, you know.
I want to I want to get one of the laser cutters. God, that looks like fun. It's, you know, I feel like I fall down these money rabbit holes. You know what I mean? I'm still having fun with 3D printing myself. So once I get a better handle on that, I might diverse. But like I said, I know it's like my stepmom up there. She's got one of the crickets, and some of the stuff she does is amazing. You know,
actually, my wife has either 2 or 3 crickets. She has an embroidery machine.
The guy who makes the puppets, you know,
Shout out to Don.
It's like I know a lot of people who are just taking on all kinds of different hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, if you get into something, get into it. You know, like Might as well. And again, start out with the Harbor Freight version. I started out with the Ender 3V2. It was like $150 printer,
Hmm.
before I bought my $700 setup that I have now. And then I ended up buying an AMS2, which was another $300 or whatever at the time. So I can do 8 different filaments with my one printer. I just kept upgrading it time as I learned more and more. I just kept getting more stuff and getting better at it. Now I print with different types of filament at different temperatures, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just fun to learn new things. This year, my like, I don't want to say New Year's resolution, but I try to every year pick a project now that like is a thing I'm going to learn how to do
Hmm.
for that year. And like next year, I'm hoping welding is going to be that thing. This year was my home lab. So like I've been playing with Raspberry Pis, and I have a home media server that holds all of my movies on it, all that stuff. So like to just have that project, that hobby almost, that is just something that can occupy your time when you are alone, that keeps you from just scrolling on your phone or staring at the TV. I don't get me wrong, I scroll on my phone and I stare at the TV, but sometimes you want to do more, and you got to have a thing to do it
Yeah.
with. And you can start a lot of those hobbies really cheap. I mean, the home labbing, for instance, you could just use a used PC to play around with. Somebody might have sat one out by the curb, or you can get one online that's like a $90 computer and turn it into a home media server, that all your movies are on very easily. You just got to learn how to read through technical documentation and make it happen. So, but that's how I've learned how to do everything, including the trades, is by just doing it.
Hmm.
Which I think is something that people like you and me, that's just the way that we learn, right?
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just like pick the thing up and just see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've blown stuff up doing it wrong too, right?
Yeah.
Like stoves.
Yeah.
But like I blow up a motor on a rooftop unit because I didn't check the voltage.
Hmm.
I asked for a condenser fan motor from my boss at the time, and he's like, "Yeah, we got one here." Ran over, grabbed his right horsepower. I brought it back to the job site, climbed up on top of, at the time it was Archie's Diner in Davison. Now it's a Leo's Coney Island. I climbed up there. I wired it all up. Didn't think anything of it. It ran really fast for about 20 seconds, and then boom, because it was a higher voltage system,
Yep.
and I did not know what I was doing about that yet. I called my boss, and I just blew this up. He's like, "You won't do that again, will you?" I said, "No, sir." Now I check the voltage every single time.
Yep.
And I'll pay for that motor. No, this is how you learn from your mistakes. Like, don't worry about it.
Well, he sounds like a good boss.
He was a good boss. That was Willie Peak. Shout out to Willie if you happen to be watching or listening or whatever. Willie was one of the best bosses I think I ever had. Him and Randy Sievertson were co-owners of Davison Heating and Cooling at the time before they changed hands. They sold to like a private equity firm. But the working there was great. I think my only concern, or like my only downside to working there, was I was a little bit underpaid. Times have changed too, so like I would be willing to bet that the equivalent pay now to what I was making then is
Much higher.
substantially
Yeah.
more.
Oh, yeah.
Like our inflation has been insane since I worked there. So.
Yeah. I can't. When I started as an apprentice, I made $10 an hour.
Yeah, I was.
Like, you can't.
I was
like,
a service technician, so I was going out and doing tune-ups and diagnosis and all that. I was making 19, and I was 8 years in at that point.
Yeah.
I had experience and all that. But the top like lead technician guy, Brian, shout out to Brian Fox. He was only making 21. Like when I asked for a raise, they're like, "We can't give you a raise. You're making $2 an hour less than our top guy." I'm like,
then you should pay him more.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I look back on it fondly. Like I really enjoyed my employment there. I think the only reason I really left was the pay.
Yeah.
I would have probably stayed there forever if I had been compensated a little bit more.
I think the trades are finding out that they're having to do something. I think everybody's finding out you got to do something about that. But
Yeah.
I mean, you want skilled people who can get the thing done. You got to pay them.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with having helpers that don't know anything yet make a pretty standardized wage. But my like baseline is $15 an hour. You know, like I can't justify having somebody working for me that doesn't make $15 an hour or more, because I'm asking you to do something that is skilled and learn something that is skilled, you know?
Yeah.
And minimum wage in Michigan's still only like $13.28 or something.
Is it even that high? Isn't federal like $7 and some change?
Federal was either never going to come up or they're going to bring it all the way up to 15 all of a sudden. We don't know.
Gummit.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't mean to interject, but
yeah, you do.
Format.
Yeah. Well, we don't
I
really
feel like we fall down rabbit holes. You don't want to go with anything?
I think that's the best part of this podcast is that we just go crazy.
All right. Go crazy.
What do you want for format?
I don't know.
What do you want for format?
I kind of like the idea of a topic.
Well, what topic you got in mind?
Chat GPT suggested worst customer.
Worst customer.
I know you got a handful. Any good tradesman's got a handful of stories.
Yeah. All right. You want me to just go into it?
You or me.
All right. So this is actually while I was working at Davison. I was a service technician. I was on call. It was late at night during the winter. This guy calls and his steam boiler's not working. I get there and he's got like a front porch entryway, like breezeway type area where the entry of the house is on the left and the entry of the basement goes like straight down from there. So it's an exterior entrance to the basement. He takes me down there, old steam boiler. It's overfull on water. So there's too much water in the system, which meant that the float valve that lets water into the system was not shutting off. It was just overfilling. And I took a minute to, figure that out. But like throughout this entire process, he's down there with me.
Mm.
And the boiler sounds like it's about to explode. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like I'm in a submarine. It's like dung, 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 dung. You know,
He's behind you rubbing your shoulders.
He said that he worked for the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the weekends, he went to Canada to film porn.
Mm.
And he made it like he told me all about it.
Mm.
I'm being pretty PG about this. He gave me a lot of details. He invited me to go with him to Canada to film. And it just kept making me extremely uncomfortable. Like I was trying to be nice, but also like, I'm here to do this, not be your boyfriend, And I told him, I got to get you a price on this tomorrow. I'm going to go out to the truck and write up my service ticket, and then I'll come get the payment for the trip charge and diagnostic fee. It's like $129 or something after hours, or $149. I can't remember. So I go out to the truck, I call my dad, and I leave a voicemail. Said, hey, if you don't hear from me in the next hour,
this guy's wearing
I'm
my
at
skin.
This address, and I need you to come quickly. And because I don't fucking know, like he's really weird, and like he's also like twitchy. You know what I mean? Like I film porn. It's like you're skeeving me out.
Go away.
Right? You don't talk to strangers about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let alone a guy who's in your basement. You know. So, I go back up to the door. My dad did not answer, by the way. I left a voicemail. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm just going to die, So I walk up to the door. I knock on the door, and he doesn't come to the door. I'm not just going to walk into the house.
Yep.
Because I've only been in the basement. I'm not just going to walk in.
He's in there with his wiener tucked.
I think he might have been. So I hear him like moving around and stuff. I know he can hear me knocking.
Yeah.
So I knock again. And then I hear him like shoo the dog. And then he comes to the door, licking whipped cream off of his fingers.
Oh, God.
And at this point, I'm like, I'm getting this fucking check from you. I'm not leaving here without money. And he's like, yeah, what's up? Like I didn't
what's
tell
up?
him what, yeah. With a tub of whipped cream.
In his hands?
In his hand, licking it off of his fingers.
Jesus.
I know. So then I said, I'm just collecting the payment for the trip charge and diagnostic fee. He's like, yeah, you can come on in. I was like, no, I
Got
just
your
need the
payment
check.
right here. It's behind me.
I just need the check. He's like, oh, okay. And he closes the door, leaves for a minute, comes back. He's got the book of checkbooks. You know what I mean? They're all stuck to the inside of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, how much for? You know, all that stuff. And then he gives it to me. He's like, you know, I feel weird paying you when you haven't provided the service yet. I said, the service was the trip charge and diagnostic fee. You have a diagnosis, but I have to find out what the price and availability is on the float switch tomorrow. I have to wait till my distributors are open. He didn't like that. And whatever. You could tell he's kind of grumpy.
Yeah, because you weren't going to go in there.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to go lick
spoon
cream off of him.
Yeah.
So I told Willie the next day. My dad did not call me until over an hour after that, by the way. He's like, I just got your message. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I got out of there. So then I called Willie the next day and I said, you know, this guy's really freaking creepy. I told him everything about it. He's like, okay, we'll just send Brian back. I said, no, you need to send no one back and add him to the do not service. You need to cash that check immediately and then fire the customer. And I guess the customer called in. He was all pissed off that he didn't get the service that he paid for. And that's his words to Willie.
Yeah.
Willie's like, we're just going to tell him to call somebody else. And we ripped up his check.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, do I still get paid for going over that? Yeah, we'll still pay for it. Okay. Because I almost got raped. Just like, should have at least got the money. So
I've never had anything like that.
That's my craziest customer story. I've had other stuff, like there's a dude like jerking it in the living room one time when I was walking through. I had a lady that was hitting on my lead installer.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we're talking about human beings who like have desires and weird kinks and stuff, right? But I don't know. It's just that was the one that was like the worst for me, and it'll always stick in my mind. And I know what house that is, and I will never go in that house.
Feared for your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily feared for my life, but it was one of those things where it was like, you've been so inappropriate throughout this entire process that I want to like either hurt you or report you to somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like he like was able to do it in a way that was unintrusive enough that it wasn't like he actually did anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was super creepy, but he didn't actually touch me. You know,
Yeah.
He just suggested things. He didn't actually ask for them. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Who answers the door with a bucket of whipped cream? See, that would haunt my nightmares. It's probably going to haunt my nightmares now. Yeah, that's so much worse than anything I have. Honestly, that's true. That's true.
I've got like arguments with customers and stuff before, but like generally speaking, it was because they were being unreasonable. It wasn't because
Yeah.
like this guy, why is this broken? It's a brand new furnace. Oh man, sometimes things break.
Yeah.
Or just fix it, please.
Yeah. Go away.
It worked fine last week. Everything works great until it stops. But I don't know, people.
Yeah. The worst customers for me generally are the dirty places, right? I've been in houses where, you know, they have animals running and they just let them go to the bathroom in there.
Yeah.
It is, you know, people are people. They do what they do. But I got a cold call once just out of nowhere. Somebody had referred me and given them my number, which please don't do. And they so I said, you know, they're like, well, we need somebody out here to just kind of inspect the service. Consumers turned us off, and they're requiring you know, an inspection on the service, which is not how it works. If you have been turned off, you need like a state or like your local jurisdiction to
Electrical inspector.
Yeah, you need an electrical inspector. You need permits pulled. You know, that's a process. So, you know, me at the time not knowing anything, I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's, you know, I make a couple bucks, go over there, just, you know, take a look at what they got. And as they give me the address, and I'm driving out there, and it's in Flint, and as I'm coming down this road, most of the houses are collapsed. Like there's no, I mean, this is like war zone horror story, like the worst parts of Flint that I think people avoid filming. And I'm like, oh shit, you know. And I look and there's one house that's not collapsed and there's like 9 people standing on the porch. And I'm like, oh God. They saw me.
Oh no,
You know.
I couldn't turn around, but now I can't.
Right. So I pull up and you know, hey, what's going on? I got my tool bag. And they're like, yeah, it's in the basement. Come on down. And then and as soon as I step into the house, there's like a walkway that goes through the house, right? And there's stacks of just garbage and shit everywhere. And there are these little flies in the air that are just in your face, right? You're like, I immediately, the second I stepped in the house, I knew I had made a mistake. I'm like, God. And I'm too much of a coward to tell somebody your house is disgusting and I'm not going any further. Yeah. So here I am just going along with whatever's happening now. And so he walks me through the house. I get to I get down to the stairs and he walks me down the stairs and there is about 2 to 3 inches of gray water in the basement. It's just sewage. There's nowhere to set my bag. There's nothing. It stinks. It's terrible. And
8 or 9 people live in this house.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They weren't living in any houses next to it. And if they were, then I'm concerned. So yeah, I opened up the panel. I looked at it and honestly, the service looked pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, all the grounding, bonding was done, appeared to be done right. And, I pulled it off. I held onto my bag, which weighed a metric ton. And the whole time I was there, cause I couldn't set it on the ground. Yeah, I couldn't get out of the house fast. And I should have taken my clothes off and burned them when I got home. No, you know,
my waterproof boots
bring back a bed bug or a cockroach with me. You know what I mean? That's like one of my worst fears is because it's terrible to have to tell a customer like you are too dirty for me to.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a health hazard though.
It is.
Yeah, I've told all of my employees, if you do not feel safe in home, whether that's because of hygiene or because the customer's being weird or whatever, walk out. You don't even have to explain why. You can literally just stop, grab your tools, leave. I'll explain why. Call me, tell me why. And then when the customer calls in, your technician just left. Yeah, they told me your basement's full of sewage.
Yep.
I will have that conversation because that's not safe. And that comes from a guy who installed a furnace next to piles of dog poop all day. You know, I've gone through that as well. I actually did have one where the basement was full of sewage. I didn't realize it. I had my bibs on. I was getting down to Wade to replace the sump pump. They told me the sump pump had failed, so the basement had flooded. And I'm talking above my knees of water in this basement. So I'm wading through it, and then I watch a turd float by. And I go, nope. And I go back up the stairs. And then I said, can I use your hose? And they're like, sure. And I rinsed off my things. I said, you need a plumber because that is sewage.
That is a poop.
Yep.
I can't do it. You know, it's.
Yeah, there's the little old lady that has stacks of newspapers. She's a hoarder, but it's not garbage. It's just stuff that she's not getting rid of. I can help with that. But if it's sewage, if it's human feces, if there's flies and there's maggots, like we're talking about a health issue here. This isn't like we just like don't like to throw things away. This is we like to save pizza boxes. You know, that's not kosher. It's not cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you gotta walk out of situations like that.
I was at a house doing a mini split circuit when I was working for SGI. Yes, it's fine. I drove out there and it was a nice place. I mean, there was a bunch of like college kids, like frat boys living in the house. You know, you could tell they were all sleeping till 11 o'clock and they were you know,
Jealousy.
I could just hear them talking, and you just knew who, you know, it was a bunch of kids that were on summer break or something. Um, and their crawl space was about 3 feet, not even 3 foot. Yeah, about 3 foot high. Concrete.
Mm.
It wasn't, it was all concrete. So it was clean. It was fairly clean. You know, when you open it up, there was a furnace underneath there that was laying sideways and blew up.
Yeah. Of course.
Um, but they were adding a mini split, so I had to pull the circuit across this 3 foot crawl space, and I got into like the next section of this crawl space, and there's like a bunch of dead birds just laying on the ground. I'm like, ugh. Okay, well, I'm over here now. Let's just finish this up, you know. I have never been so sick in all my life. I don't know what I caught from that,
Oh man, bird flu.
but I was super, like, I went to the doctor and she's like, what's going on? And I was like, I feel like this might have something to do with the dead birds that were in the crawl space I was in last week. But I have been,
You were patient zero.
yeah, for something. And, after that, I always advocate for, you know, these kids that, you know, I work with that are like, no big deal. I don't need a mask. I don't need this. I'm like, dude, put something on your face.
Yes.
I was
If
like,
you're doing, you know, one of these, you know,
yeah,
you
I was like, I'm telling you, like the stuff that gets into that, yeah, you know, gets into crawl spaces and attics and stuff, like it dies. I was like, you just put something on your face. Like, don't breathe that in. Like,
yeah.
that wasn't one of my worst customers. I mean, it was.
I mean, you got sick.
I got sick from the job, but yeah, I learned a little something that day.
My dad was in like a church attic, and there was a bunch of bat guano up there, and then he got really sick. He had like a fungal infection in his lungs, and that's what they attributed it to. Was like, did you make any trips to Africa recently? No,
not that I know of. Yeah.
So he's fine now. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, why weren't you wearing your mask? Like, why? I didn't feel like going all the way back to the truck.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I'm like, I will put on whatever I need to because I don't want to breathe in fiberglass either. You know,
yeah.
Like nothing makes your throat and your nose more sore than being in an attic.
Feels like you smoked a whole pack of cigarettes the night before. Your throat's all sore. Yeah.
Yeah. At least I get the nicotine buzz from a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I've been in situations like that too. I was always when I started at 17, and I was always the skinny one that had to go into crawl spaces and attics and stuff, right? Even though I didn't know what I was doing up there. Like, I shouldn't have
paying
been
your
sitting up
dues,
there.
earning your keep.
Yeah, for sure. And well, I mean, like, and Andrew and me now even are like, if I'm not willing to go up in there, I'm not going to send you to go do it, right? So
I try to at least trade off, you know. It's like, I'm not going to put, you know, even me and Edan, you know, I don't ever play that, you know, seniority card. This bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, we're a team.
Right. Yeah,
So
you just got to get the job done so you can all go home. Right?
Yep.
It doesn't matter who started doing this first. It's a matter of getting it done.
Yep.
I've always been the same way. But I do enjoy, you know, that I don't have to go into as many attics or crawl spaces as I used to. But I don't know. I still run service calls here and there, and sometimes they're in attics or crawl spaces.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. But that is also how I hired Andrew. I was working in a crawl space one day, put ductwork together, and my phone was just I was getting all these service calls. It was just me at the time because I just started my company a year prior. And I'm in this crawl space. I'm trying to get this freaking ductwork together. And I'm like, why am I doing this? So I texted Andrew and I said, I'm ready to go when you are. He said, me too. And he quit that day. So he was going to put in his 2 weeks notice, but he didn't have any work where he was working at the time. So
it's like,
he wasn't on the schedule for the next 2 weeks anyway. So he just came right over, and I had plenty of stuff for him to do. So it was pretty nice. Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Like, I'm getting older, and, you know, as referenced by my hands hurting all the time, and like, that's me typing on a keyboard and moving a mouse, you know, let alone a hammer or a drill or whatever.
Well, and you can't do service calls and a job, you know, by yourself.
Yeah. We're at 49 minutes now.
Yeah.
What else about the format did you want to hit today?
No, I think that's good. I think having, you know, I think when we have listeners, I think this is kind of stuff we want, that is the most interesting about what we do. When we're sitting around with a group of the guys that I used to do this stuff with, we'd be having a drink and we could tell these stories for hours. It's just it never ends. There's always something that happens, and there's always another story to be told because I've got dozens of them yet to tell, and I'm sure we'll have more.
Yeah. I mean, you had brought up like the smell and all that, and I like immediately started laughing because I thought of one I was working with Damon, and we were on the southeast side of Flint, like I'll say the Maple and Hill area, near 475. And it's really not like some bad area or anything, but this house that we went to just smelled so bad. The basement just reeked like poop. And I don't know if it was dog poop or human poop or what, but like it was definitely poop. And we put on respirators, because we knew we didn't want to be breathing it. It was clean down there. Like I didn't see any piles, but we could just tell something was wrong. Like either they just picked it all up or there was like a sewage backup somewhere.
Maybe they had a fetish.
Or maybe they had a fetish. Who knows? But we used to have these little containers of air freshener. He would just like spray, he just like little squirt.
Yeah.
And he's standing at the top of the staircase. Customer's right there. He stabs the side of it and throws it in like a grenade. It's just ding, 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 ding down the stairs. It's bubblegum scent for the rest of the day. His bubblegum and poop was the rest of the smell for the day.
What did the customers say?
Nothing. It was like it didn't faze them at all.
Yeah.
That their house smelled that bad.
I'm used to it.
Yep. Yeah. I was just they thought it was crazy that he did it, but they didn't say anything about it. I was laughing my ass off. Like I'm a helper at the time, so I'm just like my respirator on my giant blue silicone one with the two big filters on it. Just trying not to laugh.
Oh my God.
To death. I'll never forget that one either. That was just one of those, no shame, right there in front of them.
Yep. I've never had a customer hit on me.
No?
No.
I've had a couple.
I hear Edance, and God, I love his story. The thing is, he doesn't even tell those stories. Like I find it in the Breezy software, where it's like he writes the story in there, and it's like,
man, I'm not surprised.
No, I didn't say I was surprised, but I enjoy those stories so much because it's just.
There was that one lady that had like that theme park or whatever in her yard. It's basically like a little, you know what lady I'm talking about?
I think it's the same lady. I was reading his notes in Breezy, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like she wanted him to be his pool boy or something.
Yeah, that's her.
I had one where
a little mini roller coaster in her yard and stuff. She's got like a little used to be theme park.
Who's she trying to attract there? Tradesmen or little boys?
Apparently.
That's weird. I had one old lady. I walked in and she's, oh my, you're like a movie star. And I'm like, oh, I felt so good. And then, and then this old man I was working with, I walked in with him and I hear, oh my, another movie star. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, I guess I don't. I can get to keep that.
Every man in her life is a movie star.
Yeah. He was more her age. That's fine.
Home movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only been hit on 2 or 3 times. The one I will never forget is a guy that was hitting on me. And it was so over the top. Like they must have been doing it to entertain the other people in the house who were also there with me.
Yeah.
And like, just, aren't you so strong and handsome? Like,
Thank
could you
you.
get it all fixed for us? I was like, leave me alone. It'll be $200,
Yeah.
Just write the check. Like,
don't say anything else. It's going to be $250.
You're making me uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah. On the job, I've only been hit on a couple times. And then I feel like I've gotten hit on by 2 cashiers. I don't know what it is with cashiers, but other than that, I'm pretty hitless.
It's okay.
I just wish it would happen more often. That way I can be like, I'm married.
As much as, yeah, I know. Well,
You want all of this?
as much as we talk about, women like the attention. I was like, guys like the attention too.
Oh, yeah. No,
You
I
know?
want to be catcalled.
Yeah, I do
walking
too.
down the street and be like, who's that tall, dark, and handsome?
It's me.
It's me.
I get it. It's yeah. I've never had it happen to the point of being uncomfortable.
Just the one steam boiler guy was really the one that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, that was like serial killer territory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he wanted to do all sorts of things with my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Eat it, maybe.
Yep.
In Canada, though, it's better in Canada. It's like Canadian bacon or something. Thick cut.
Where you like a robe. All right. I think that does it for today, huh?
Yeah, we can wrap it up for today.
All right.
Yeah, unless you had any final thoughts or anything, any requests for the audience that we don't have yet.
I don't think we have an audience. Yeah. So no, I'm not going to make any requests of them just yet. And once we get maybe to get some comments of some sort, maybe there'll be something more to add to this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if anybody's listening to this and you have questions for us, or you just want us to expand on something or whatever, a specific topic you want us to go over, we totally can. I'm mechanically inclined. He's electrically and mechanically inclined. And we can, even if we don't know the answer to some things, we can figure it out. We've got access to code books. We got access to the internet, and we know where to look for the answers to questions. So
also, if you are listening, subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. That'd be amazing.
I think that would help us. I think we do this just for fun, but if we don't go anywhere unless somebody's actively listening every week. So
yeah, I mean, I don't need this necessarily to go anywhere specific. I just really, again, I'm doing this for me. I really just enjoy sitting here and talking shop and being able to share information with people. I think
what would bring something to me is less the audience and more. I think the audience equals involving other people, right? I mean, fireside coffee again. We were in the shop today, and you mentioned something about the two gentlemen there that have got a picture on the wall.
The guys behind the counter were the same guys that were in the Fatheads vinyl that was on the wall.
And I'd love to be able to go to them and say, hey, if we let us sponsor you, let us,
Yeah, I really want this to be like a podcast for the trades, even though you're current and I'm comfort, right? Like roasting coffee is a trade. Plumbing is a trade. Working on cars is a trade. I'd love to have people on the podcast too that we get to learn more about their business and what they do for a living, and we can bounce that back and forth with our experiences.
I feel like coffee would be a good one.
Coffee is a great one. I love coffee. It's the third name in the podcast.
Yeah.
But they're not here.
I know. Maybe next time. They were really busy when we were there.
Yeah, they were.
I've ever seen
it took forever to get your peanut butter and jelly.
I know. That thing was an explosion. It was good, but holy cow.
Yeah. It's nothing like a peanut butter and jelly on toast.
Yeah. Once you heat it up, it just kind of goes everywhere.
I think they must toast the bread and then heat it up with the peanut butter and jelly on the two pieces and then put them together, because the peanut butter and the jelly are so warm that they're just gooey liquid comes out when you take that first bite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so good.
It was
another one. I had it last week.
I'm gonna try something new every time I go there.
Okay. That pumpkin bug bread or pumpkin
bug bread
bun?
Why do you think they call it bug?
I don't know. Pumpkin bug. I don't think there was bugs in it.
It was tasty if they did. The spiced apple cider that they had for free samples was amazing. I
saw your son doing one of those shots.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pow.
I didn't try it.
Oh, you didn't? Really?
Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. I might get that next time.
Okay.
I didn't even see that on the menu.
Yeah, I got the chestnut again. Because they made it for me the last time.
I don't see that on the menu either.
They have a chestnut espresso, chestnut shaken espresso.
Oh, okay.
It's espresso over ice with chestnut flavor in it. But I asked if they could just put it into a latte for me. And one thing that I like about them is they don't overdo it on the flavoring. I tend to just add too much syrup and then it doesn't taste like coffee anymore. This is a good mix, level where, I can taste the coffee, I can taste the milk, and I can taste the flavoring, but it's not like heavy in one way or the other. It's not too sweet. It's not too bitter. It's not just milk. It's well balanced.
Yeah.
And I'm bouncing off the walls afterwards, which is all I really need.
Woo.
Definitely helps with the ADHD.
Well, we got to spend tonight dropping those presents off to
Yep.
our family.
Good luck with that.
Yep.
I'm going to clean up my house so that my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my brother-in-law can all stay at our house for the holidays here. We're going to go out to the west side of the state, stay in an Airbnb out near the lake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're hoping for some lake effect snow and some frozen water. I think
You're doing that this week?
Yeah, it'll be for the Christmas time. They fly in on Christmas, I believe.
Okay.
So then we'll spend some extra days out there.
What are official closed days?
Just Christmas, unless people need additional days off. Anybody can. It's one thing as an employer that I've always felt is important is if you want a day off, just tell me and we'll make sure you get that day off. You have PTO, you have sick days,
Yep.
Like if you want to use those, or if you don't, that's fine. Just let me know so I can make sure you aren't scheduled for something. So it doesn't hurt me for you to have a day off.
Yeah.
Especially when, it's the holidays and stuff. We're really not that busy during the holidays.
I'm going to try and focus on getting those, going through those invitations to bid and getting through some of those quotes out.
While I was on my way up to my grandmother's for Christmas yesterday, I noticed 2 different builders up in the Midland area that I grabbed the numbers online.
Yeah.
Then I'll try and send them an email or give them a call and
Yeah.
reach out to them too. Shout out to the builders out there. If anybody knows a builder or is a builder that is interested in having electrical or HVAC mechanical work done, that's something that we want to bid on. So
Yep.
That's where
Step
we're going.
1, get out some good pricing. Step 2, build some relationships. I think we'll get there. The problem is that it's a slow process. It's like any relationship building. It's a slow process, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't just meet somebody and become best friends.
Yeah. We're getting married now.
Sorry, Kristen, I'm marrying John now.
It's legal.
All right. Well, this has been the Current Comfort and Coffee podcast in J. Patrick Studios in Swartz Creek, Michigan. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
Peace.